Hey, welcome to Travel Tuesday Happy Hour, where we interview dope people doing dope things with one thing in common, the love for travel. We have a great guest lined up. Grab a drink. Stay tuned. What's going on, travel fam? If you ever thought about starting a podcast, check out Anchor. Anchor is free. Anchor will provide you tools to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast to multiple streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Everything you need right in one app. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
This guy pretty much does everything. He's hardly seen, but everywhere at the same time. Look, I can only see you from the eyes up. You might have to adjust that.
Let me back you up a little bit. How's that?
There you go. There you go. There you go. You're trying to maintain that mystique, I see.
I'm
So
in the
tell us
jungle.
who you are and what you do.
So my name is Rick Southers, and I am a photographer / videographer / all types of other content creation, based out of Pittsburgh. I've been here most of my life. I was actually born in North Carolina, but I've been traveling professionally doing photo and video work now for almost 2 years, and longer than that doing other work domestically.
Okay, so what got you into traveling? Because, I mean, you're everywhere, and then, at the same time, I don't recall getting some invites, but that's cool.
We'll talk about that offline. So for me, travel actually started at a pretty young age. Not internationally, but with my family. My mom and my dad always made sure we got outside of the city every opportunity possible, whether that was on a fishing trip to the beach with my dad or going to visit family in the South, seeing the sights, getting a little bit of culture through museums and stuff like that. So I would say it started there, so I always kind of had a mind that was open to that. But it wasn't actually until after college that I took my first international trip.
Well, that infamous yacht cruise.
Yeah. It was an infamous series of cruises.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
So what keeps you traveling, man?
I think the biggest allure of it for me is just learning new things, learning about new people, different perspectives, the history of different places, and how it's all kind of connected and the world is really small.
So what's been your most memorable adventure? Because, I mean, he's keeping it really small. This man's a hunter. He's a camper. He's a fisherman, catching 10-foot bass and stuff like that. And I'm not exaggerating. If I was, he'd be telling me that I was
I'm
exaggerating.
not long-winded, but I'm gonna give you the best I can.
So tell us what's your most favorite adventure? Because all of it is traveling, right? Whether you're going fishing, you're going, off into deep waters. Whether you're going hunting, you're going into the woods. What are some of the things that drive you into that? Is it the unknown of what you're about to get into, or is it just knowing what you're about to get into?
So when it comes to the adventures themselves, regardless of the destination, it's definitely the challenge, what I'm coming to accomplish. So if I'm going fishing, what can I come away with? What's the biggest, rarest fish that I can find, and what's my strategy to find it? So I would think fishing would probably be my favorite type of adventure, just because I love water. I grew up loving water, no matter what type it is: ponds, lakes, rivers, oceans, streams. If it's wet, I'm in it. So my bad.
All right, we're gonna let that rock.
So yeah, fishing is probably my favorite type of adventure, but we're gonna keep moving past that.
Okay.
So my favorite adventure in terms of a trip would probably be South Africa.
Yeah, that you reeled us all into a shark cage. Just so people know this, this man got 6, 7 grown men
Yeah.
into a shark cage off of the rockiest coast of South Africa.
Yeah. Great
He
white
made it alive.
sharks.
Some people, their friend Earl came around. They're
That
gonna
was rough.
remain nameless.
Yeah, that was
You
rough.
know, I will just say the biggest dudes weren't the strongest in stomachs. Let's just put it like that.
That's a fact. That's a
You know,
fact. I think
when them
everybody.
waves hit, you don't know who can handle it or not.
Yeah, it was rough for pretty much everybody besides us two.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm used to it. I had my sea legs at a young age, so that
Same
wasn't an
here.
issue. You know what I mean?
Same here.
So,
Yep.
so with that said, I'm rocking the real players here. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Oh,
I'm holding it down a little bit.
he
You
got the
know,
official merch on. Okay.
yeah, I'm saying. I noticed that there's a how can I put it? Another trip coming, our yacht week, right? And I'm like, how do you feel about going back to whether it be Croatia or are you trying to go to the new location? Um, what are your thoughts on that?
So that's tough for me. Being a two-time Yacht Week Croatia vet,
You
I
just got to
gotta,
put that flex out there, right?
I gotta love a lot of love for the place. I know what to expect. I know they're not gonna let me down. It's established. I know there's not gonna be no hiccups on the route. Um, it's tough. Yeah, that holds a special place in my heart. But I'm always down for new destinations. Tahiti is the new location. I believe that's the newest. It looks cool. It's Pacific, like South Pacific vibes, hula skirts and all of that. So it should be cool. But I don't know. I think it depends what kind of mood I'm in because I feel like Tahiti will be a little bit more laid back,
Mhm.
a little more remote. They probably don't have like the whole club scene like Croatia had. So yeah, it could be a cool like chill vacation.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, so as a content creator that travels, that shoots video, um, and is all about the adventure, then COVID-19 hits, right?
Uh-huh.
We're talking about what, second week of March, third week of March, everything shut down,
Yep.
right? As that being one of your passions, what kind of state did that put you in? Because I know you had like 7 or 8 trips that you were going to be a photographer for, um, a bunch of which you were going to host. You know what I mean? Like, how has that adjusted your travel life and then content creation?
Yeah, that's not an exaggeration at all. April and May were supposed to be really big months. I was supposed to be in about 4 different countries. Most of those trips I was shooting. One was personal, actually a bachelor party we had to cancel. I was the best man, so I was planning that trip, so that hurt. A lot of weddings I was supposed to shoot, most of them domestic. But yeah, it's just a lot of rescheduling. So a lot of trips are still going to happen, but they're getting pushed later into the fall. A lot of weddings that I was supposed to shoot this summer are getting pushed to next spring. So it's just a lot of juggling dates right now, and things are getting pushed back more and more um, as this thing keeps going on.
Okay. So now, you know, Pittsburgh is a unique city as it relates to race relations, right? Um, it's coming into Pittsburgh, it was more diverse than I expected it to, right? Interracial relationships, just how black and white kind of grew up all in the same neighborhoods, right? You from the hill, it don't matter if you black or white, you from the hill, you got your stamp, you got your stamp. It didn't matter if you were white boy Ricky or black Ricky, right? With the current situation, like how have you seen Pittsburgh respond to the unrest with the different race relations, right? How have you been able to deal with it? Given that, I mean, let's be honest, Slippery Rock growing up, being in Erie, Pennsylvania, you're around nothing but a bunch of white boys, right? And some of them have become friends over time. You know what I mean? So, like, how has these current situations kind of like impact life for you as you deal through these situations?
That's a good question. I got to back you up a little bit. There's a couple assumptions. I didn't make very many white friends in college. Like none at all, actually.
Oh, really?
But nah, that's never really been my thing.
Okay.
But being in Pittsburgh, we're not new to racial tension. You know, we've been a part of every civil unrest in the history of this country. My neighborhood particularly, which is like the first black neighborhood in Pittsburgh, which you can probably relate to, used to be called Little Haiti right after Haiti got their independence, and a lot of them migrated to the northern United States. This is one of the places they settled first, and was originally one of the safe spaces in between New York and Chicago for black people in general. So my neighborhood having a history that goes that deep, of course, we've seen all the ups and downs from the riots in the 60s all the way till now. So I'm thankful that we do have pretty good leadership in our communities. Our fraternity being among those leaders that kind of know how to take action and get results and put the pressure on the people in charge to make the changes that we need to make. Because, you know, we've seen just as much of the unfairness from police and the brutality here just as much as anywhere else.
Okay. So what are some of the projects that you got coming up that you want people to know about?
Okay, that's a good one. Everything is so up in the air right now. It's tough. But I do have a I do have a new website that'll be launching soon.
Okay.
So
outside of Instagram,
right, and it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be more broad because up until now, my Instagram really just showcases my travel content. But I needed a place to kind of house all the other work that I do for clients, whether that's weddings or branding videos, fitness videos, and stuff like that. So the website will be up probably in the next month or so. So you can look out for that.
Okay. And then any major trips we should have a heads up on, i.e. that might be invited to?
I mean, look out for us to figure out this Yacht Week thing for next year, but I can't put no real plans on the schedule. Everything's too up in the air right now. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, man, I definitely feel you on that. Like, I have a couple recent trips that I'm setting up, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that everything remains cool.
Right.
But other than that, man, you know, like you said, it's kind of too early to really plan too far out. So I'm gonna ask, what is a tip that you would give someone looking to start traveling? Like, you know, maybe two. Give me two. Dev gave two, so I'm gonna let you give two.
Yeah, the one Dev gave was really actually good, and I might reiterate that. Just not to make expectations of the places that you go, and that it's not going to be like home. You hit the nail right on the head. A lot of people go places expecting New York time with service and things like that. They expect their Wi-Fi to work like it does at home, and that's just not the case. Sometimes we're going places to experience something new, and that includes all the amenities that you're used to at home. But besides that, for people looking to start getting into travel, I say find like-minded people. That makes it easier. Having people in your circle that are ready to go do the things you want to do, and doing the same way that you want to do them, because you can be on a trip with a whole bunch of people and have completely different agendas, and that's going to make it a horrible time.
So Justin said we won't let 16 join except for Reek. Let's put it like this. Reek was the only one responsible enough to make it happen, right? At the end of the day, we told Reek about the trip. Reek made both trips with no questions asked. So, you know, I'll add to that, you know, I think, like you said, the transition between college to work life, people feel as though that all of our trips are hella expensive. I'll tell you guys now, I pay for most of my trips 6 months out. So by the time the trip comes up, I don't have to worry about those payments, except for pocket cash and spending. So there are companies that let you pay your airline ticket over a period of time. Most of our trips are payment plan based. So, I mean, there really aren't, I'll say, excuses to not making any of the trips, you know. I talked to T. Bart. He even had a creative way to make sure Croatia happened. So, you know, the resources are there. It's just a matter of making sure it happens. You know what I mean? So, my good brother, I appreciate you for jumping on. You know, I got the thousands of followers that came with you to come check me out.
Yeah. All right.
You're the most waviest person I. Oh my gosh, we got a black mamba sighting.
What
And
up,
only for
Dizzle?
you. All of these bros came on here for you, bro. But like I said, definitely excited. Like I was telling everybody, I'm taking a couple weeks off so that I can definitely jump on, come back rejuvenated. I do want to have you back on again so we could talk about, probably your most memorable trip in detail because we had like a little short amount of time.
Word.
And really drop some jewels on some people about the real about travel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yep.
I appreciate you, good brother, and you have a good one. Stay safe out there.
No doubt. You too.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Another dope conversation. Keep traveling and stay safe. Until next time, peace.